Yo, what's going on YouTube? Yo, this is Bro Man Clash. I know you're gonna be kind of confused on like why you just have a t-shirt on and some shades. It's cause you know what, man? Going incognito. Nah, I'm just jiving with y'all. I just wanted to change up a bit of a wardrobe, and just to do it, just to do it. Anyways, I just want to say, how y'all doing? I know I haven't been on quite some time, but I want to tell y'all, for those who watch my videos, which is probably a significant few, thanks. But I want to talk about something, and it's something that kind of bugs me since I was younger, and that is what people really think of racism. See, people think of racism as a few choice words or like a few signs, but really, racism is a system, and some of you may not agree, and I can understand that. But if you really look at the history of it, and if you understand the intricacy of white supremacy racist society, you will understand that you need to first colonialize the very same people that you're going to try to use, or try to either that or try to cause a genocide so your people can thrive. Genocide can happen in two ways: physical and mental. Mental is more diabolical because you actually think you are the oppressor or on the oppressor's side when you're nothing more than just the oppressor or just a commodity. Yet people actually, and nowadays in society, actually thinks that racism just extinguished or just disappeared. But here's the thing: racism didn't disappear. Racism has not extinguished. Stereotypes still exist. Misconceptions still exist. Fear still exists. A way to bog people down still exists, and also a way to keep certain groups of people down and out for the count. I.e., example, crooked cops killing innocent black people. Some of you still say that that's not the case because there was Jordan Davis, and I understand you may point out that there was justice, and there was justice, but it still doesn't change the fact that America was brought up on violence, and as it was brought up on violence, that's in its DNA. You cannot change that. If it was brought up by a certain way, then it's gonna end that way no matter what. And if you really think that America is a peaceful or a very great society, if you really look at its history, it's not that. And all the stuff that is caused in how many years now? Probably ever since his birth, it caused more damage than it did more good. Sure, there was like technological advancements such as the almanac being made here by Benjamin Banneker, the invention. I think the steamboat was more in England than it was in America, and also the usage of actually building some monumental, creativity such as the canals and the White House. But it was built by black hands, even though it's called the White House. Ain't that something? Anyways, even though there was some good that America has done, I admit it did bring a melting pot of people together, but let's not forget that America has been more well known for exploitation, censoring, and especially propaganda. And I mean, come on, America has been well known because of that. And the earliest form could be the usage of certain literacies to describe a certain group of people. I mean, come on. The Native Americans, they were described as very savage because they didn't believe in a certain way. That's not the case. They came and showed the people who eventually become their oppressors with open arms. They showed them kindness. They showed them gratefulness. They showed them, hey, we care about you. We saw you struggling and we want to give back onto you. How is that savage? That's not savagery. That's civility. See, now let me clear something up. Civility and savagery are two different things, but just because you claim to be civil doesn't necessarily mean you are civil. Just because you claim other people are savages doesn't necessarily mean they are savages. See, look, a civilized person will look at you and say, I will help you because I trust you. And also, just because you look different from me or you have a different creed or a different way of life, that doesn't stop me from helping you out. Savagery, on the other hand, is an extreme bias towards oneself or one's own perseverance and looking at everyone else as potential competition. And I know I could be thrown in the context and they say, but Clash, man, that's not the case. I'm like, that is true. But if you really look at the history of it and how does it tie into racism, white supremacy, you will realize that it does tie in and how the way violence was used to keep certain groups of people from achieving. Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma with Black Wall Street. Beautiful black neighborhood. Even had a movie theater, had their own police system, had black money circulating. But yet, some people, namely white people, some of you gonna call me out and call me a racist or a bigot. I'm just like, you know what, man? I'm just stating it how it is, and it happened in history. Came over, got jealous, seeing this prosperous neighborhood, and decided to destroy it. And then you can't claim something. You can't claim yourself peaceful if you only use violence to achieve peace. That's not the case. Matter of fact, that is the case. Because as soon as you use violence to achieve peace, it's just going to cause more violence. Even if you are a peacekeeper, if you use war as a source of peace, it's not going to work. And then, just like Malcolm X once said, the white man gives you the liquor and then arrests you for being drunk. How can you say that you're the solution to a problem if you caused the problem in the first place? It doesn't help. And on a plus note, who are you helping? You're helping nobody but yourself. And racism is something else too. And like I said before, it's not only a system, but it integrated and evolved into a way of life. I mean, look at America's history. And some of you say that, oh, you know, we're looking at people's skin color, that's also racism too. Looking at people's skin color and saying that they ugly. Let me put it like this. See, that's also a part of racism. You want to know why? Because it's degrading another one's culture over a misconception or a planned misconception and deem another people's culture to be more superior, thus more effective. And as you see, it's going to become more and more played out. Not played out as in like it's going to get stale, but it's going to cause more problems. Now, if you really think about it, what does that tie in with racism, white supremacy? Think about it, and you want to say that racism, white supremacy, what's that got to do with us as people today? Because it still exists. It's just more hidden now. Some of you don't want to say that, oh yeah, racism is over, slavery is over, get over with it. I'm just like, hey, look, there are some tragic events that happened here in America, and if I say get over that, you're going to claim me to be anti-American. Let me tell you something. I was never considered to be an American. If you want me to be honest, there are some people who look at me and say, you're nothing more than just an African. And I say that, and you know what I'm going to say? Well, thank you. Don't call me no African American. Why? Because I was never a part of America. I was never a part of its infrastructure. They consider me as a part of property. And if you consider me property, that means I'm less than human. And I know I am human. And why should I be considered African American when I am nothing more than just an African? A proud African too. See, racism will teach you that saying that is racist, and teaching that you have to be a part of the system to understand it. No, that's not cool at all. Can't do that. And on a plus note, what's it going to achieve? Nothing more than just self-hatred. How does that help? It helps nothing. And in fact, it's going to kill you more up here than it does physically. Because when a man is hampered mentally, his physical essence will be altered. And with that, people, if you do listen to this, I just say, hope you have a great night. This is Broman, signing out.